Morning, guys. September 24th, 2020. And, yeah, I thought I would just do this. I might do this more on a more regular basis just to vent a little bit and start the day. Get things off my mind. I could just speak to myself, but that's kind of boring. I already do enough meditation, and, well, I wouldn't say meditation, but I already do enough thinking or pondering or whatever you want to call it. Don't mind me. This is my morning routine. I eat, and I used to watch some YouTube in the morning, but I stopped doing that, so. But anyways. So if I talk with my mouth full, you know why. Because I gotta eat. Gotta get ready for work. Fortunately, I have a job, so. Maybe this isn't as good of an idea as I thought it was. But who knows? Not worried about it. If you're offended, you can always turn it off. But it's kind of interesting. And speaking of which, it seems like a lot of people lately, more and more, do this virtue signaling or don't know how to ignore or like to shut people up. They're not happy enough of forming their own opinions. They like piling on other people's opinions. Like a mob mentality. It's really interesting, I find. And I observe. See, because I don't watch the news. I don't watch much TV, practically none, with the exception of a few Star Trek series, and whenever they come available on, and I don't watch them live. I don't watch things just because everybody else is watching them. I don't go to Twitter to find out what people think of those shows. I could care less. I just enjoy them myself. Now, wrestling, on the other hand, I do care about what other people think, because I'm curious. I'm curious what people are thinking. Sometimes I'll reply, and sometimes we'll get into nice discussions. It's really cool. And you get your trolls, and you get your people who just want to sound like 2-year-olds, but whatever. People are entitled to their opinion, whether they sound like a 2-year-old or not. But like I said, this is probably not going to work out pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I want to get to the juice of this, and I'm starting off. I got to eat first. That's just all there is to it. If I ate, I wouldn't have any time to do this. So I'll try to mow this down as much as I can. Boy, this sucks. Not the way I was really envisioning it. And then again, some of my plans don't always work, so be it. Or ill-advised. I'll get to the good stuff if you hang around, trust me. I just want to get through this. Don't get sick very often. In fact, I forget the last time I got sick. It's been a few years. In fact, it's been more than a few years. It's probably been, geez. Oh, I don't know. It's been more than 5 years, I can tell you that. It's probably been a little bit longer. Somebody yesterday posted. I had all kinds of messages that were posted. Said something about me After I posted a message from a university of all places, which I don't do very often because a lot of their stuff is skewed or whatever, if you know what I mean. But it was a good thing on mental health, and it was kind of a response thread that I wanted to post just to get people thinking, not to start a war, not to start, you know, triggering people. I'm not interested in triggering people, especially not on a forum about trains. Like, give me a break. And at first, it seemed like most of it was ignored, just like my live streams. The ones that I talk about, things that aren't trains related, don't do well, and that's okay. I don't expect them to. But if I have some knowledge or if I have a different perspective, then yeah, I want to get that out there. So we had this. I there was this big thread about COVID-19. I think I might have mentioned this a while back, and I've tried to post videos about it, but there was. It wasn't that somebody was posting about their sickness. That's horrible. I know people are getting sick. I feel bad for anybody who's getting sick, and some of the symptoms are really bad. I understand that. But there's certain things you can do, and there's certain precautions and things that you can take for your own life. It's no guarantee, but at least it's something, and getting that information out there is more important than getting the fear out there. Getting the fear, all that does is create more anxiety among the public, and fear and anxiety is a killer. And I saw a lot of people in this were scared, and they didn't even have COVID yet, and they were posting how scared they were. And every time they watch the news, it's like, well, turn off the news. That's your first step. It's like, do I sound like I'm scared? No. One of the best things of countering fear is educating yourself, and I don't mean public education, but actually educating yourself. And I don't mean educating yourself on watching TV or watching, whatever. I've had trusted sources who have been out of alignment out of this thing. They have from the beginning. So I took both perspectives for a while. Eventually, I disagreed with one and agreed with another. So, because despite even somebody having credentials, everybody thinks, oh yeah, but he's a doctor. You know how many doctors are being silenced? It's amazing. Because their opinion or thesis or even facts are counter to the narrative. I'm lucky I have a job. But I don't want to get into that for a minute. I want to get into this politically correct stuff. So, going back to the forum, I posted a message on a forum, and it was kind of my own thread. I wanted to do it in such a way that, number one, I try not to offend people. Well, that didn't work. Well, it worked for a while because I didn't get any replies, which was great. I just put it out there and that was it. People could see it if they wanted to. People don't know how to ignore either. Because if I'm this quote-unquote troublemaker, where I seem to be wherever I go, and I have hundreds upon hundreds of posts, just like other places, that aren't so controversial. Whenever you get into a controversial subject, that's when you get this this whole posturing and I'm a virtue, like virtue signaling, and blah 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 blah. They post messages all the time to add this to the ignore list. It's like, dude, do you have to broadcast that you're going to add somebody to the ignore list? Why are you here? and they do it just to see the responses. Why else do they say it? Why do we need to hear if somebody is adding me to the ignore list? I don't care. Is that supposed to offend me? I mean, if that is, if like I laughed at that when I saw that, I'm like, okay, whatever. And it was all about a post about. It was a separate post. It was related, and I didn't mention COVID-19 in there. I didn't mention anything like that. I just basically said about the fear and anxiety. There's a lot of fear and anxiety, and there's a lot of fear and anxiety about a lot of things. I'm not just talking about fear of getting it. I'm talking about the fear of losing your job, fear of your income, all kinds of things. So I thought, it was a nice positive post that people can learn to just deal. You got to deal with it. You seek help. You got to do whatever you can to get away from that. I mentioned the word religion and a few other things that most fear is generated not by facts but by whether it be culture, popular opinion, the media. I put religion as when I offended somebody who was religious, and I'm like, okay. I mentioned that it can be. I didn't say it was because some people will drive their beliefs, and it's all about beliefs. It's all about you know. I've said before, a man convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. It's a good quote. There's a lot of good quotes, and people are. They're so freaking convinced, and I mean, there's a lot of people waking up too. And I mean, I didn't say I was affiliated with any political party. I even in one of my responses I said, "Why would I care about Donald Trump? I'm not even from the United States." And the whole political reality show they got over there, give me a break. It's a circus. I already said about politicians. Politicians are not there to help you. Politicians are there to get votes and money. That's all they care about. They don't care about you. There's some good politicians out there, but they don't make it far. They never do. And that's because the money goes with the people that can give them what they want. The big pharma, the big corporations, the big entities that don't really have representation by a person. They're represented by stockholders. That's where the power lies. I think that's where a lot of the evil comes. Is it not so? And it's not a failure in what do you call it? It's not a failure of capitalism. Everybody gets confused by that. They think socialism is the answer. No, socialism is not the answer. And then the others on the other side say, "Well, yeah, socialist China." No, China's not socialist. China's not communist like you think it is. In fact, it's basically more capitalist than the West in many ways. And that's true. They have a mix of socialism and capitalism. It's unique amongst that country. This isn't the Soviet Union style top down design. Yes, there's top down government and there's dictatorships and all that other stuff that's going on over there, but that's the control of the people. They still look and push towards business, and this is why they're going to be a power in the 21st century. They're right again. Look at where they're at right now, and they have gotten out of this thing so quick, whereas the rest of the world is treading in the crap. But no, I posted on this forum, and there's 7:55. Got to finish up here. Get ready for work. And yeah, I posted on this forum. I actually replied last night to two of my threads. I said, mods, since I'm offending so many people and triggering so many people, why not just erase these two threads? And they did. I never got reprimanded in private. I never got any of the stuff that I've got in other places. And I'm not going to bring it up again. instead, I'm going to start doing, if I'm going to speak my mind, I'm going to speak my mind on these little tidbits here just to get my mind off things. Now, I really didn't touch base on a lot of things. And it's 7:56, so I got to get going. But didn't say much other than eating and shoving food down my throat. But I started a little late today, so as far as trains goes, I should have mentioned that right from the forefront. Um, I'm just waiting for a response on one of the Transdem forms just to see how I should proceed, but I'll probably try a few things on Sunday. I'm a little stuck on something. The It appears somehow I corrupted the route. I don't know how the hell I did it, um, but them's the breaks. It's too big. It's got way too much crap on it right now. So I gotta find a way to reduce that and see what's going on there. I might do a few test routes to try to get around it on my own, but we'll see. Anyways, I gotta get going. So have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.